I will tell you that virtual training, and I do believe this, virtual training is probably the greatest thing to happen to training in the last 500 years. I mean, understand, I'm rated one of the top 15 sales experts in the world. I think I'm 13 this year.
I want to say number 5.
Well, I was number 5 last year, but that was this year I fell down to 13 because my ex-wife voted. And
you keep that flip?
Yeah. So you can keep that one.
Love truth.
Yeah. But I mean, I was an article one time said was one of the 50 greatest salespeople of all time.
I believe that.
And I said, I know 50 people better than me, so I don't believe that. I put it on my website because it looks good. But the reality is there are lots of people that know an awful lot about selling. But the truth is that, if you don't embrace virtual training, then you will be a dinosaur. Because this way you can have me and Kevin Elko in your car. I mean, I had a conversation the other night with a district manager, a regional manager for a big pharmaceutical company. And she's a very dear, dear friend of mine who I've just known for years. And I said something to her about, do you have my virtual training? And she said, no, I don't have your virtual training. And I've always teased her about, I need to spend more time with you, and, because she's wanting me to coach her and stuff. And I said, now just think of it. We essentially live together. You take my virtual training, I'm in your living room every night. And so, but the truth is, but the other thing that I would say about virtual training, and I do believe this, and I think this would be a part of the way I market it, if you're not serious about using it, don't buy it. I mean, my stuff is $500, $600, $700, $800. Which is not a gigantic investment if you want to be great.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to be great, then you're going to buy it and you ain't going to ever open it up and look at it. I tell people I give away, and I'll do it still, I give away my goal setting system, which is 22 minutes long. Now, I told you I read that book, Psycho-Cybernetics,
yes.
right?
79
times.
Okay.
And so, but the point is, you don't need to read that book if you take my goal setting. But you have to watch it 5 times. And I tell people, it's not going to change your life unless you watch it 5 times. So I have a guy call me one time who was in an audience for one of my clients, and he calls me and he says, I'm a PharmD, and I've been in sales for 17 years, but I've always wanted to be in the medical department. I've interviewed 10 times for jobs in the medical department, hadn't got any of them. He said, and it occurred to me that maybe you could give me something to say that would get me an interview or would actually get me the job. And I said, honestly, I think you're starting at the wrong place. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, you need to take my goal setting system and I want you to watch it 5 times and then call me and tell me you still want to be in medical affairs. Because I'm not sure that this is, because one of the keys to being great at goal setting is to have exquisite clarity about what you want. And I'm not sure your clarity is exquisite just from listening to you talk about how much you like sales and how much you think you like this. I'm not sure that you're exquisitely clear. So he calls me after 3 weeks and he said, okay, I've only watched it 3 times, but it's changed my life.
Wow.
After 5 times, he calls me and he says, I have 2 interviews for jobs in the medical affairs department. No, 3 interviews, and one of them is the perfect job for me, location and everything. He called me the next week, he got the perfect job.